LipoBind, proud sponsors of the Really Useful Health Show.
You need to begin your new plan when you've got a week to spare so that you can actually relax and think about it without having lots of other commitments on your plate. It's going to take you a little bit of time to accustom yourself to a new regime, as it would with any new way of eating. But once you get used to it, it'll become second nature. In the first instance, when you start to cut out things like tea and coffee, if you've been having several cups a day, you are quite likely to get some withdrawal symptoms. So if you get a headache for a few days or you feel a bit twitchy, you're just going to have to go and rest and know that you'll come out the other end of that. It doesn't usually take more than a few days. It's also important to keep a diary, as I've mentioned before, and write down absolutely everything you eat and drink. And that might seem like a chore, but actually, by doing that, it gives you a great record to look back on, and it will actually encourage you to stick to it. Once you've got established on the Real Life diet, you'll feel quite comfortable, and you'll start to feel better and better as the weeks go by. In the first few weeks, you may find that you lose quite a bit of fluid, which can show on the scales as a fairly marked weight loss. Sometimes people do that when they've been producing antibodies to foods. They hold fluid in their body, in their cells. And so as you change your diet, the fluid can come out. But then the weight loss will slow down again. So after you've been on the plan for 4 weeks, you'll find that you should have lost perhaps as much as 4 or 8 pounds in weight, and you should be starting to tone up from your exercise. It's important to try and find lots of interesting foods, and there are tons of things out there, so you can find the things that you really enjoy, because you must feel that there are treats involved, because it's a long-term thing. This is not just a 2-week fix to get into your bikini. It's something that you're going to be doing in the long term, so it's really important that you make good choices. And maybe as the weeks roll by, every month or so, go to different shops and look for different things and make changes to your diet so it stays really interesting. But don't go shopping on an empty stomach, because you'll be tempted to put things in your basket that perhaps you shouldn't be. And as I said before, make a shopping list and stick to your list. Don't actually get anything that's not on the list. So think about things before you go out shopping, and then only bring back what you go out to get. If you're short of time and you're lacking energy in the first few weeks and you don't fancy cooking, there are lots of fast, healthy options. And the whole program pays enormous dividends. At the end of the day, you're going to feel so much fitter, you're going to look better, you'll like your reflection far more in the mirror, and other people will start commenting that you're looking so well, which will make you feel good too. Going shopping twice a week is important rather than just a once-a-week affair, because for a start, the shelf life of vitamins and minerals in things like fresh fruit and vegetables isn't very long. So when you think about it, our ancestors were going shopping much more often. So try and get out there, at least for the fresh things, a couple of times a week. And maybe even the most important thing in all this is, once you've lost some weight, is go out and treat yourself to a new outfit. Don't only feel good, know that you look good, and let other people see that you've got something new to wear, and go and strut your stuff. It's really important. And remember that Rome wasn't built in a day. If you're not losing all the weight within the space of a few weeks, that's not so terrible. Just think about how long you've had this weight for, and if it takes you a few months to get to your target weight, or even a year or so, take photos regularly so you can actually track your progress, because we tend to forget. And then you can sit down and wow over it and think how clever you are to have achieved it. And the nice thing about this is, when you get to the end of this plan and you've reached your target, unlike with other plans, you're not going to go back to your old way of eating, you're not going to put the pounds on again, and you're in the driving seat for the rest of your life. If you notice that the weight loss starts to slow down after the first month or so, don't feel disheartened, because it's much better to lose weight gradually. You've got a much better chance of keeping the weight off than you have of going on a crash diet for a few weeks, losing weight, and then the chances are you regain it all again. Thank you for watching the Really Useful Health Show. It's not the end, it's actually a whole new beginning. and there's lots going on online, so do come and join me. There's going to be telephone workshops, there are question and answer sessions, we've got all the questionnaires up there for you to fill in. We're going to be having some competitions as well, so you can enter those because we're keen to hear about the best stories as time goes on. We're going to be covering lots of other topics in future shows, and if there are subjects that you'd like covered, then come to the website and tell us about it. So thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
LipoBind, proud sponsors of the Really Useful Health Show